Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. Now, for those of you who've never heard of Article 13, perhaps you might want to take some notice if you're a creator. If you only use YouTube to watch, it may be of concern to you, because what you can watch may be dramatically reduced. This is the European Union again, getting too big for its boots in my opinion. But nonetheless, I can see why it's being done. Article 13 basically means that the platform owners, in other words the owners of YouTube, Facebook and all the other social media type stuff, become legally responsible for copyright infringements. Yeah? Not the person who loads it, although they could be liable as well. Yeah? Depends how heavy somebody wants to get. But by making the platform owners of YouTube legally responsible for copyright infringement, they're not going to want to load a lot of stuff. They're going to go to over cautious. And basically that means an awful lot of content is going to get blocked. Now, this is a European Union thing. The EU, sorry, the UK may or may not be in that sometime down the line. We'll see how that goes. But nonetheless, it affects every country because it could remove stuff that you enjoy watching. Or stop it getting loaded, not remove it. Now, I've had to take a precaution because in the past I've used pieces of music, particularly on some visits and on shows and things like that, that I was informed were copyright free, and then down the line you get a copyright warning from the owners because basically it was stolen by somebody else and proposed to be copyright free when in fact it wasn't, so I got conned. That's fair enough, but as a consequence I've just gone through all of my videos that have had a copyright warning and deleted them, because there is no other way. Because if this Article 13 comes in, YouTube will not only be responsible for anything that is uploaded, it'll be responsible for anything that's already there. So I've de-risked me and actually got rid of everything that's ever had one of those warnings. And some of those videos had sentimental value. And some of them can't be repeated. But tough. And everything that went with those videos, you know, all the comments, everything like that, conversations, it's all had to go, I'm afraid. Now, come on, this was only a dozen videos out of however many, well over 1,000 that I've got there. So it's not much of a big deal for yourselves, but in a couple of cases it was for me to remove videos with sentimental value, I'll say. But nonetheless, I feel that that is the best way for me to deal with what could be a serious problem. And down the line, it could become a serious problem for EU creators, in as much as they may get everything blocked until YouTube are sure it's absolutely squeaky clean. Now, I don't think it's going to come to that, because YouTube's algorithms are pretty good at getting sound and picture matches as they do their processing before the thing actually gets loaded. And I think that's working pretty good. I mean, once upon a time I did a video out here in the grow room, and in the background, rather softly playing, I had a CD on to see if they'd find it. Yeah, they found it. No worries. So that one had to go. And I did that there and then, because that was a little game, a little experiment to see what they can find and what they can't find. But I don't want to get involved. At the end of the day, I want to keep my channel squeaky clean. So I will only ever now use music from the YouTube audio library. That way, in theory, it should be safe. Anyway, it's worth bearing in mind. I'm just going to show something now. This lovely red cattleya up here, which has got a name, a very long name, Siang Yu Red Pearl variety red dragonfly. So I was hoping it was going to be red. A long time ago I also had another red beautiful cattleya that I lost. This is in the days when I knew nothing about Fusarium, and boy did that one get it and went downhill fast. But I'll do a pop-up of the picture, because any orchid I've ever had that's bloomed, I've kept the photos that I've taken, and if the orchid is sold, died, got rid of, given away, I still keep those pictures in a little folder called Orchids Lost. So I'll put a pop-up. And quite honestly, this is pretty flipping close, so I am well pleased. And this is funny. This is what this orchid looks like. That's what it looks like when it's going over. It goes downhill really fast. It's very strange. You know, it literally discolours right back down the stem almost in a day or two. This one will be next. And then we'll have to wait, won't we? We'll have to wait for more. But that's the game with the orchids. So yeah, this Article 13 could become a big deal, because it could stop people doing what they would like to do that their followers like them doing, if you see what I mean. It's going to put severe restrictions in some cases, and it might all just fizzle out and come to nothing. But I agree that stealing other people's stuff is not on. It just isn't. You know, you shouldn't be doing that sort of thing. Everything I do is filmed with this camera in my hand, and most of the time it's in here, in my grow room, looking at my orchids. And if I ever put any music on, it'll be very rare, and that will come out of the YouTube audio library, so should be safe. But some older stuff wasn't quite so strictly applied. And any photos that I put up are photos of my orchids taken by me on my stills camera. So everything belongs to me. But there could be a burden of proof. How do I prove I took that photo? Well, actually that's very easy, because I'm on a Windows platform. When I offload videos or photos onto my computer, it takes the details, and that includes date and time and the camera that was used. Well, even that's not legal proof, because then somebody else could have the same camera and get the same set of details, but it's about as good as it gets. Anyway, a bit negative, this video, but nonetheless, on the positive side, I've removed everything that is questionable from my channel, which was a bit awkward, because I got switched to the new Creator Studio, and a lot of the facilities that I like using are gone. Oh, thank you very much. Let's make things better by removing stuff. Anyway, I did have the option to go back to the original Creator Studio, which I needed to do the search to find my videos that have had a copyright warning, because that facility's not available under the new studio, so I had to go back to the old one to do that. And yeah, so a bit of a nuisance. I also used to use the live view in the analytics quite nicely. Well, the new version of that does have a live view, but it doesn't include the latest video you've just uploaded. So, you know, in fact it doesn't include the latest view. It does the normal 28 days thing, and then it loads them by most popular downwards. Well, I want to see the latest ones, whether they were popular or not. So yet another facility I used to like using that's gone. I don't know, some changes are for the good, I suppose, but most things that change seem to go downhill. I mean, like my Dracula Bella, you know, that's had a dramatic change on it. One of the flower spikes is gone, so that's a change that's gone downhill. It blasted basically, but I think it got knocked. And this is, you know, until I can do something with this, it's going to be a frequent occurrence, because the spikes are long, so it's got to have somewhere to hang. But it needs also to have somewhere shady and cool. So every time I have to unhook this from the shelf up there to get it out to water it, which at the moment is very frequently, there's a chance of the spike getting knocked. So it's a bit of a nuisance at the moment. I might have to have a rethink with the Draculas, although this is the only one that's a worry, because it's the only one that blooms at the moment. But it is a bit of a nuisance. But I need it under these little fans to keep it cool. I need it shaded from the bright lights, And at the moment, that's the only place I can put it. But that's a change for the worse. I mean, another change for the worse. My Phalaenopsis Sweet Memory has dumped 2 leaves recently, and the 2 that it's got don't look brilliant. But it's got a spike. My what was Sedera japonica, that's got a nice spike on it, but it hasn't grown a leaf for a while. Another little bit of good news, I suppose. My lumpy bit on the top of my Psychopsis spike is moving. Now I still don't know whether that's going to be a bud or an extension of the spike, because the top of the spike, that's been blooming since I got it, you know, I'm well pleased. But when it died back I thought, oh hell's bells. But it's doing something, along with these spikes on this Dendrobium. I only filmed that a short while ago and I said that these spikes grow quite quickly. Well, now you can see how quickly. You know, you can see the buds now, and you can see how many buds there are on these spikes, and you can get a feel for the sheer number of spikes as well. There's a lot. So that will have to get moved soon so that we can see it. Yeah, but apart from that, if you've never heard of Article 13 and you're a creator, in other words you make and upload videos and you live in the EU, it might be worth just having a look at the latest information, or the information videos that YouTube have provided about the subject, just to get your head round what it could mean. Because even if you have a squeaky clean channel, have never used any music, you could even have a problem with where you film. Yeah? Where you film might have paintings. Yeah? And they've got copyright. So you're not allowed to reproduce them in any shape or form. Well, you've just shown them in your video. It could be, you know, it could get that bad. Also, if you've ever shown a couple of pages in a book, we're not allowed to do that. You know, if you think through the lines of what material has a copyright within it as part of it, and any copying, reproduction in any shape or form, whether, you know, audio, visual or anything like that, is a copyright infringement, YouTube have got to try and stop that ever happening. So it could get to be a big deal. And apparently it's coming soon as well. Oh, we'll wait and see. But in the meantime, I've just had a quick clean up to make sure that everything I've got, as far as I know, is okay. But I mean, I remember I bought, after I'd been to Rachel's place, I read a really nice Cattleya book and I bought it. Well, I think I filmed that when I bought it. Well, although I didn't open it, I may have done. I'm going to have to go and find that video, you know, and if that video shows any content in that book, I'll have to take it out. Not take the content out, take the video out. No, can't re-edit the video. So, you know, we've got to watch our step, basically, as creators, and make sure that, like I say, everything you film or show belongs to you. And if you really had to, you could do a reasonable job improving that. So, we'll have to watch our step, won't we? You know, in theory, humming a tune that's recognisable while you're filming could be a copyright infringement, because you're copying somebody's music that's got copyright on it. So no whistling, no humming, no having your radio or TV on in the background. Not that any of us would do that normally, but you see what I'm getting at. And YouTube, you know, if they're going to be legally responsible, they're going to have to get over cautious. And they'll probably go over the flipping top and ruin it for everybody. But we shall have to wait and see. This is legislation to come. All good fun, isn't it? You know. Whatever happened to freedom of speech? Well, yes, you can have freedom of speech, providing it doesn't do harm or damage to anybody else. Yeah, and, you know, stealing other people's stuff is a form of harm. So, although I agree with it, I may not agree with its implementation. But yeah, watch your step, everybody out there. If you're just a watcher, all it could mean, worst case scenario, is there'll be some things that you can't watch. I mean, as far as YouTube is concerned, serious channel infringements, and you get your channel deleted. You get, you know, warnings on the way, but you don't get many. So you really upset them and they'll delete your channel. That's all your videos and all its content gone. You then have to create a brand new channel, probably with a new email address, and start from scratch. You know, and that could be somebody's serious income lost. You know, so anyway, yeah. In amongst all that doom and gloom, I haven't got any new blooms, which is a shame. That would have cheered us up, wouldn't it? I suppose we could have a quick look at this one, because this one's opening up a bit better now. That's Paphiopedilum macabre. And also, this is good with the colour changing. These blooms have been out some time, and these little ones down here are just opening. So you can see the dramatic difference in the colour between the two, you know. So we're on the change there. I think I've got another Tolumnia. Oh no, it's not quite open yet. I think I might do a Tolumnia update, because I've got more, you know, I got the new ones at Christmas, and there's quite a bit going on with them. You know, I mean, one of them's got 3 spikes pushing out, which I've never had before. So, I mean, when a Tolumnia opens up or has a spike that's too long to hang from one of my racks in the roof because the spikes touch the roof, which obviously, you know, when the sun comes out, that would blast them, I suspect. But when they're open, they come down here where I can see them, and see them from the house. And at the moment, there's only 3 with open blooms on. But, you know, like this one here, you know, the plant's down here, the end of the spike's up here. So the rack that this hangs on has to be longer than that, and it isn't. So I've had to bring that one down here. So it's losing some of its light, unfortunately, by coming lower down. But, you know, I can't afford for the spikes to touch the roof. So I have been rearranging things. All the Tolumnias that were up there have now been moved, because I'm getting fed up with stretching across these plants to reach that corner. But with a bigger mount like that, I can get hold of them okay, because I just put my hand on the bottom and lift it off, as opposed to having to reach right up the top. So I have been moving stuff around. So this rack up here, that's where most of the Tolumnias live at the moment. As I said, there's a couple about to open. They're just starting to break their buds, so they'll have to come down. But yeah, I've been moving stuff around and fiddling around. And today is my normal pot watering with a difference, because it's the second fungicide treatment. So everything's going to be absolutely soaking wet by the time I finish today. But then I don't need to worry about it for some time then. Don't even need to think about it really. Not for a while anyway. And quite honestly, on the bug front, I usually do a precautionary bug spray this time of year, but I don't think I'm going to bother. You know, last time I watered the plants, last time I watered the mounts, I did have a good look over them, and I can't find any bugs at the moment. That doesn't mean to say I haven't got any lurking, and it doesn't mean to say I won't get some in. But at the moment, there isn't any. I saw some bugs on one of the vandas in the joint of one of the lower leaves, and I just got the alcohol just to do a spot treatment and realised I was cleaning up bodies rather than actual live bugs. So, you know, that's the thing, you know, if you use a systemic spray and things like the crawler stage of the scale, you know, take a bite out of anything and die, they stay where they are. You know, they're not gone because they're dead. So those probably got killed twice. Still, at least they're dead. Anyway, I will see you next time. And as I say, if you create videos, it's worth having a think about what's in the background when you're filming. You know, any noises that are going on in the background. Certainly from a YouTube point of view. If you're going to involve people in your videos, watch the youngsters. You know, without permission, they're not supposed to be there. You know, so we need to take care and you know, abide by the rules, basically. After all, it's a free platform, and there is the potential to make money by being allowed to use it. So we need to stick to the rules. You know, that's the way it goes. Anyway, been waffling on long enough, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.